while trying to solve a big problem. It's differentiating between truth or perception, with only 60 seconds on the clock. Too fast, am I right? Well, take a seat while I teach you how to discover the real truth real quick. Hello, I am Marina, and my purpose is reinforcing the statement, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is perspective, not the truth. Truth is truth even if no one believes it. A lie is a lie even if everyone believes it. Perception does not always have an accurate result because truth is considered as the only dependent. Reginald Rose posits in 12 Angry Men, 1957, that truth can rely on many variables, and it is only through deliberation that a jury can deduce the truth, which can otherwise be ambiguous. Rose correlates his novel to McCarthyism, which occurred from 1950 to 1954, by incorporating a nefarious ideology of accusing individuals by perception. The film Vantage Point 2008, directed by Pete Davis, is concerned with truth and perception as the audience experiences the truth as a jigsaw puzzle through the formation of a single piece classified as the ultimate truth. The truth should not be identified according to one's mood. While incorporating ethos into this process, the theory of being open-minded can lead to visible truth. In relation to McCarthyism, many victims were accused of treachery through the limited mindsets the authorities developed which blocked out certitude. Similarly, the imagery in A Very Hot Summer Afternoon identifies the jurors' lack of concentration throughout the serious, elongated jury, which can possibly lead their minds to be corrupted due to the surroundings. This provokes that a temporary state of mind can impact on an established state of attitude towards the subject. Furthermore, the colloquial language and casual conversation in I Figured Us for a burglary or an assault or something manifests the thought of the crime being underrated rather than important because the jurors doubted their competence of their work. This magnifies the importance of concentration while incorporating the process of being prepared to any situation. Moreover, the short syntax associated with the juxtaposition of life and death, in one man is dead, the life of another is at stake, indicates the seriousness of the situation, which emphasizes that the jurors must take their responsibility seriously in order to establish the truth. Under any circumstances, prejudiced notions should be taken into consideration, as if for it's a serious situation and any irrelevant options can lead to one's harm. The diction in "you are faced with a grave responsibility" demonstrates that the responsibility one's facing is no joke, because it's not a thought, it's indeed a serious case. This could affect many if the case is not properly inspected, because the truth is proven. Therefore, an opinion without any support or any source of evidence should not be considered as it's proven to be false. An opinion is considered biased if it relates to one perspective. In consideration to pathos, a story that reflects to an individual's past or perspective pushes away from the truth. While connecting to McCarthyism, the accusation and mistreatment towards people was caused by the reputation the authorities created due to their own perception. In a similar way, the conversational tone in "What do you think of this case?" provides the jurors with the ability to reflect on the case according to their own perspective, not the visible truth, which therefore allows their final opinion to be according to their personal feelings. However, the only way to investigate the truth is by excluding any biased comment. In addition, the metaphor in "I'm gonna make a man out of you" reinforces the prejudiced views based on personal experience that is developed by an individual's perception on a certain situation, which is considered as biased, especially when a relationship is drawn between the perception and the victim. This allows the persona to oppose with the condition even though the truth is clear, but the past leads one to hold back. Moreover, the idiom in "try and separate the facts from the fancy" identifies the actions in the state that are operated with injustice opinions that establish the thought of separating reality from any judgment. This proves that perception is involved while making the decision, which is keeping each individual in disguise. In relation to Vantage Point, the truth that was taken into consideration was known to be a lie because it was according to one's perspective. Furthermore, the several distinct angles of the event depicts that the audience have limited choices from viewing the actual truth, which can lead to biased opinions because judgments are stated towards an outside layer. This demonstrates that the truth cannot be found unless digging deep, as the hidden can solve everything. Similarly, the piecemeal clues towards the overall truth manifest the different viewpoints. This leads the audience to have a biased opinion towards each character through their perception based on the storyline. Therefore, evidence leads to no judgmental statements because it is the actual truth. The occurrence of every incident is stated as truth because it was performed in a certain way. According to the term logos, figuring out a logical procedure while incorporating solid evidence results to ultimate truth. In correlation to the McCarthy period, after an analytical process was conducted to release veracity, the truth was exposed and the crowd gained back their rights. In a similar way, the repetition in It's Possible, a similar knife It's Possible magnifies the role of chance and a point of reasonable doubt that multiple knives exist, that the truth is not always obvious, which could be crucial in terms of guilt or innocence. Therefore, the state of being open-minded clears out any blurry aspects which makes the truth easy to identify. Similarly, the truncated sentence in all right, not guilty proves that the jurors were able to investigate the truth by exploring each event that occurred on the timeline of that night, without considering any perspective of their own. This proves that an individual's perception or opinion will not change unless facts are just inaccurate. Moreover, the idiom associated with the metaphor in no dead spots highlights that there is no room for the injustice system. This develops certainty amongst the situation, while the truth starts to appear because perception is excluded. According to Vantage Point, the truth is observed by several perspectives, put together to identify the truth. Furthermore, the delineations assigned to the procedure of investigating the truth is revealed by each event that occurred for its evidence. This is discovered by the climax, while resolving the resolution through their actions. In addition, the parallel editing provided interlinks all viewpoints by making the audience identify the theory. The convert subplots bring the disparate stories together into one concept. Therefore, the truth is always available, however it can be difficult to identify without being open-minded. Overall, everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is perspective, not the truth, because any statement can reflect on one's mood or life. However, truth depends on actual evidence.